It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brewery, and it's a bottle of their DeRail Ale. It's an IPA coming in at 5.2% ABV. There's a look at the label. It didn't quite want to focus too much, but there you go. There's a look at the label. So a hoppy India Pale Ale, black bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the opening. Beer in the glass. Look at this. Nice levels of carbonation. A lovely golden coloured ale. A little bit of haze in there. Don't mind that being an IPA. 2 fingers of slightly off-white head. Small amounts of carbonation on this amber coloured ale. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, absolutely. It's a malty, hoppy, citrusy, lemony IPA. Smells good. Really good. A hoppy India Pale Ale. Lots of toffee in the aroma. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah. Let's have another taste. It's very malty, and what's happening with all of that malt is that the hops are having to fight a lot of sweetness in there and a lot of kind of caramel flavours, so it's bitter on the back end, but then that citrusy note is just fighting a massive battle with the sweetness in there. So you do get grapefruit, you do get a little bit of peach in there, a little bit of mango. But yeah, it's fighting that malt. So what we're talking about here is probably a 50-50 balanced IPA. And a lot of beers are meant to be balanced. They're meant to be kind of lots of malt, lots of IPA. But I think personally, I would prefer it maybe with a little bit more hops coming through on the back end. And maybe a little bit less of that caramel malt. I think, in all truth, this is probably based on one of their kind of malty bitters where they've just kind of added lots of hops and call it an IPA. Nothing wrong with that. It's a very different IPA, I suppose. There's a lot of kind of value in that, in that it's not the same as every other IPA. But me personally, I prefer my IPAs with a little bit less malt, a little bit less of a malty, chewy kind of character, and more towards the kind of the citrusy, grapefruity, peach and mango flavours that are in here, but they're kind of having a battle with all of that malt. So I'm picking up lots of toffee, lots of biscuit malt. And I suppose if they called this a best bitter, then I think they'd probably get away with it a little bit more. You know, I think it would be more suited. I think I would be singing the praises now of this beer if it was just called a best bitter or a strong ale. I think I'd be saying, yes, this is fantastic. I really like it. But calling it a hoppy India Pale Ale is for me a little bit of a stretch. But hey, you can't win them all. It's a decent beer. It's just a little bit too malty. Rating for DeRail Ale from Brewery. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. If you think it's been a little bit harsh, then please comment. We can have a discussion about this, because there'll be a lot of people out there that'll like to discuss the kind of topic of this beer. Boxstein Brewery, I am a fan of their beers. Some of their other beers are absolutely fantastic. But this, for me, I think it just needs a little bit of tweaking. It needs a little bit of kind of jigging and moving about. Maybe even call it just a strong ale. I think that would be a better kind of classification of the style. Thanks for watching. Please comment, please subscribe, and cheers.